Theresa May has invited ministers to read an almost complete draft of the Brexit agreement. The document reportedly does not include a plan for the main sticking point of the Irish border. It comes as the government faces mounting pressure to publish the legal advice on the Northern Ireland backstop. Theresa May's allies, the DUP, have joined calls by Labour, the Liberal Democrats, as well as Environment Secretary Michael Gove to make the details available. The Attorney General's legal advice is thought to assess how the UK's insistence on the right to unilaterally end the backstop could increase the risk of a no-deal Brexit. Labour has threatened to force the government into revealing the information through a motion in the House of Commons. Well, for more on the latest developments, I'm now joined by independent MEP for the North West of England, Stephen Woolfe. Stephen, evening to you.
Good evening.
So the Cabinet has been looking at a draft withdrawal text today. We're nearly done, aren't we? Dreams of a hard Brexit are over, so it seems.
I think you're pretty much right. I think the idea of those of us who believe that we should be leaving the European Union in all circumstances is over. I think what we have is the soft Brexit betrayal that many of us have instigated and said would happen from the government for many, many months. And the reason why they don't want us to see the legal advice is because it would be there in black and white, very clear for all to see that we will have BRINO. Brexit in name only.
Oh, well, that's not true. We're talking about surely just staying as part of the customs union or a form of customs union in order to solve the Irish border problem. And of course, by the looks of things, it would also be an agreement by letting us do those global trade deals. We're looking at a compromise here, which not only politicians will accept, but also businesses, Stephen. That's what they want.
That's what they want. That's what they're going to say has actually happened. But the devil is always in the detail, Bill. As very clearly, you will see that being a member of a customs union, as I've seen here in the past few days in meetings here in the European Parliament, is that we will have to abide by all the laws of the European Union. And that means very clearly that when we go out to seek trade agreements with the United States or India or indeed China, we would also have to abide by their laws on services and goods. That means we're not independent. Every country in the world will say, can you tell us what the European Union rules are first and what differences you can make? And the very simple point is there'll be very few differences, if any, that we can make. That is why many of us are saying now, we would have liked to seen a no deal because that would have been a clear way of Brexit, but we're actually going to end up staying in the European Union in name only.
By saying many of us, you're talking about many of us politicians. Of course, we're now looking at the suggestion that businesses and other leaders could be poised to back May's agreement. I mean, we're getting credible endorsements of what she is trying to achieve for the country and for the future economy.
Well, this is the great end of the negotiation period. Only this week we've seen 1,500 lawyers saying, please, Theresa May, let's stay in the European Union. Last week we had letters from businesses stay in the European Union. And now you're going to have all those who have backed Theresa May say, let's have your form of a customs arrangement. This is what happens towards the end of a particular negotiation where both sides are now trying to get the message out to the people that their side has won. But what we've really seen over the past 2 years is Project Armageddon, where we've been told that we would die, have no food, have no medicine, not be able to fly out of our country, not even be able to get the tunnel, has actually won the argument. And Theresa May will give us a deal that effectively ties us in with the European Union going forward. And those of us like myself who've campaigned for years for a clear, independent country, completely in charge of our own destiny, will recognise that it's not. It's just a very small modicum of what we wanted.
All right, you sound dejected there. Also, do I sense that you're rolling over now and just accepting what will be, that your dream of the Brexit you wanted will not happen, and you're simply, you can't do anything about it. It's going to happen now.
I think they're very clear. Absolutely. What we could have done to have won this is whether those people within the Conservative Party at 2 or 3 occasions over the past year had a chance to remove Theresa May, and they didn't do it. So we are in an incredibly weak position for those of us. We have no major political party outside of the Conservative Party's E or G. UKIP has died. The kind of organisations have attacked those who funded the European Brexit movement, those like Arron Banks and other big funders. We've been attacked as individuals, and we've left with this kind of rump of the ERG who've tried to work as hard as they could, and many of them done a brilliant job. But the reality is the powers in control of our country, those who are running our elites, those who are in charge of the major businesses and the message, have managed to get what they want, and we've failed to be able to defeat them even though we won the referendum in 2016.